I never imagined that the woman I respected the most in this world would embarrass me so easily in front of strangers. It was supposed to be a simple evening, just dinner after a long day of work. I wanted us to relax, eat together, maybe even laugh like we used to. But as soon as the bill arrived, my wife leaned back in her chair, smirked at the waitress, and said loudly enough for everyone nearby to hear, "He has no money to pay." Her words cut through me like a knife. The way she said it, with that mocking little laugh, made me feel smaller than I've ever felt in my life. I froze, my hand tightening around the glass of water. My instinct, as always, was silence. That's what I had grown used to, swallowing the pain every time she belittled me. Keeping my mouth shut felt easier than starting another argument I couldn't win. But something unexpected happened that night. The waitress, a young woman who had only just walked over to collect the bill, looked directly at me. And then with a small smile she said, "Hello, my boss." For a second, I thought I had misheard her. My wife's smug expression instantly shifted into shock. Her eyes darted between me and the waitress, confusion flickering across her face. I sat there, still quiet, but inside my chest, my heart was racing. That single line, just 3 simple words, shook the ground beneath us. It wasn't just a greeting. It was recognition, acknowledgement, and respect all rolled into one. After months of being dismissed and treated like I didn't matter, someone had finally spoken to me as if I did. And in that moment, I knew everything between my wife and me was about to change. My wife shifted uncomfortably in her chair, her smirk gone as quickly as it had appeared. "Boss," she repeated, her voice sharp, almost accusing. The waitress nodded politely. "Yes. He owns the company I work for." I recognized him immediately. I could feel my wife's eyes burning into me, but I didn't say a word. For months, I had lived under her constant criticism. How I wasn't good enough. How I couldn't provide the life she thought she deserved. How every little thing I did somehow wasn't enough. And now, in front of a stranger, she had once again reduced me to nothing with a single cruel joke. Only this time, the truth had come crashing down on her instead. The waitress placed the bill gently on the table and added, "Don't worry about tonight. It's taken care of." She smiled at me before walking away, leaving behind a silence that felt heavier than the entire restaurant. My wife's face was flushed, a mix of embarrassment and anger. "Why didn't you tell me?" she hissed, leaning forward as if the world around us didn't exist. I finally looked at her, calm but firm. "Tell you what? That I've been working quietly, building something on my own while you were busy laughing at me? That maybe I'm not the useless man you've been painting me as." Her lips parted, but no words came out. For once, she didn't have a comeback ready. I leaned back in my chair, almost amused at the sudden role reversal. All those nights she called me a failure, all those times she reminded me I wasn't enough, every insult replayed in my head like a slideshow. And now, with just a few words from someone else, her entire picture of me had shattered. It wasn't about money. It wasn't about pride. It was about respect. Something she had taken from me over and over again, until tonight. We drove home in silence that night. The city lights passed by the window, but my mind was replaying the scene again and again. The moment she tried to humiliate me, and the moment it all backfired. When we reached the house, she finally broke the silence. "Why didn't you ever tell me? About the company, about the money?" I took a deep breath. "Because that was never supposed to matter to you. I wanted a partner, not a judge. I wanted love, not constant reminders of what you thought I lacked." Her eyes softened for a second, but then filled with frustration. "You made me look like a fool tonight." I shook my head. "No, you did that to yourself. You cared more about embarrassing me than supporting me. You wanted the world to see me as weak. You never realized that in trying to tear me down, you were only exposing your own bitterness." She turned away, silent, perhaps realizing there was nothing left to defend. I walked past her, into the quiet of our bedroom, and for the first time in a long time, I felt lighter. It wasn't the waitress's words alone that changed everything. It was the reminder that I wasn't invisible, that the respect I had been begging for all these years wasn't impossible to receive. I just wasn't getting it from the person who was supposed to give it first. That night, as I lay awake, I knew something had shifted inside me. I didn't need to prove my worth anymore. I didn't need her validation, her approval, or her half-hearted love. She had tried to shame me in front of others, but in the end, she was the one left exposed. And for the first time in years I smiled, not because I had won, but because I had finally remembered who I was.